Hello, hello, hello. How are you? This is Els coming from Bemis Crafty Corner, and today I have this. Um, Hopefully, I'm going to give you an idea for a project here that um, will help you get rid of some of these because I know everybody's got them. I know because we all buy them because they're pretty and we like them, and we want to put them on our journals or in our journals and on our things, and we can never figure out how to use them once we get them, but we have them and we're like, oh, it's pretty and I love it. And, so we have a bunch of these. So I'm going to get out some stuff, give you a supply list on this one, and then walk you through this one step by step. It's relatively easy, but, there's a couple of things in here to know. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this. I'll be right back. Okay, supplies. Obviously, your doily. One of these embroidery loops, now you can pick these up at hobby stores. This one is a 6-inch and it was $1.99, okay? You want the kind that loosens and tightens here at the top. It has the double ring. Now, this one is wood. You don't have to use wood. You could use a plastic one if that's what you can find. I just like the wood for the aesthetics of it. You can paint this if you want to, or leave it just the way it is. Take the label off of it. Entirely up to you. You're going to want lace. All of this lace, Lace. And then you're going to want some number 8 cotton string. Okay, this is $2.49. It's needle art string, a number 8, and this one is in ivory. And my doily is white, and my lace is all different colors, in beiges and stuff. Now you can use colored ones if you want to. A crochet hook, I have a feeling, is going to be very helpful if you have one. If you don't, that's okay. You could just use like a big embroidery needle or something like that. That would work as well. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to separate our ring and get started. So let me get the lace out of the way because we're going to do this part first. So I'm going to get the lace out of our way, and then we will get, let's get this done, okay? I'll be right back. All right, so the first thing we want to do is open up our embroidery loop and separate the two parts. If you still have this little tag on here, you might want to get rid of that at this point. That is entirely up to you. I mean, you can leave it on there. No big deal. But I'm going to get rid of it. I'm not going to paint this. I don't feel the need to. So I'm going to take the inside loop. That's the one that does not have the metal piece on it. See, there's your little, that's your outside loop. This is your inside loop. I'm going to take the inside loop. I'm going to center my doily on here. And then I'm going to find my top, where I want the top of it to be. And I'm going to put my loop around, and I'm going to press down. Okay, and then I'm going to tighten this up just a little bit, not all the way, just a little bit. Turn it over, and I'm just going to kind of pull on the front, both sides at the same time, to snug that up in there. Okay, take a look at the front. Let's come this way a little bit. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and tighten this pin all the way down, as tight as I can get it. Now you may have to use a coin or something, or a pair of pliers to get that tight, but you want that very tight. Okay, so once I have that on there, see, I've got all this flare. Now you can leave this on if you want to, or you can cut it off. It's not going to come apart because you've got it in here, okay? But if you want to leave it on, you can use it around the sides and do that. I'm going to cut this off. So I'm going to make sure that I have this very tight, okay? Because I don't want this to fray. So I'm going to make sure I have it nice and put together. going to go ahead and tighten my loop even further. Okay. So once I have it tightened, I'm going to go ahead and start trimming off this doily. Now, don't get rid of this. Save the doily, because you can use this for appliques. Just put it in your little bits box. Okay, so that's my outside piece, and I'm going to put that to the side, and we're going to be working on this part, okay? So once you get that all done, I'll be right back. Okay, so the next part of this is kind of, you know, a personal choice issue. I find that it works if you work with about 6 feet of thread at the same time, and you can either wrap this around single, or you can double it like this and do it double. What I do is I use the crochet hook for this. I just come in through a couple of stitches here at the top. And I just hook this and bring it back down through there, and then I just kind of wrap this piece, my tail, around, and then I'm going to wrap this around through the weave of my piece, and I'm just going to wrap this through. Okay, so I'm just take my end, and again, I think the crochet hook works really well for this, okay? So just go through one of the openings, grab your piece, and bring it back up, okay? Now, if you want to do this with a needle, you could certainly do it with a needle. But the idea is to go around and go through every single hole. You don't have to cover every bit of the wood, but you do need to kind of go around, and basically you're tying this doily to the frame. And you're covering up a lot of this in the back, okay? So, I'm going to keep doing this. Again, like I said, I'm using a crochet hook because for me this works. If you don't want to use a crochet hook, you can certainly, you know, put your curved end on that side and then just use a needle for this. That works too. Or piece of thread, or if you can get through your doily with your fingers, do it with your fingers. It's entirely up to you. And I'm just going to go around and do this whole thing. And when I run, you know, when I get to the end of my thread, I'm just going to tie a new piece on and keep going. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go all the way around this at least once, maybe twice. And then I'm going to come back and we'll move on to the next part. Okay. So I'll be back. Okay. So once we're done, we've gone all the way around. We've put a nice square knot here in the back and trimmed the ends. You can see that it looks a lot better. And the next thing we're going to do, and this is much more secure now because we've stitched through the edges here. So the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting on, we're going to be working with the lace. So we're going to cut about 2-foot sections of this lace. We're going to make sure that we cut 2 of each kind. Okay, because we want, you know, we want some symmetry, right? We want a little balance. All right, so we're going to start cutting those, and we're going to get like a whole pile of it. Okie dokie. And you know, you can use the same one twice or use different ones. It's entirely up to you how you want to do this. But what we're looking for is about a 2-foot piece. And you want 2 pieces of that. Okay? So you want to have, you know, start off with a lace that's got some, you know, some yardage on it. And if you want to add some colored lace to this, by all means do that, okay? So we're going to cut all these down. We're going to get this out of the way for the moment. And now we're going to separate them because we want them in 2 piles. All right, so 2 piles. That one, this one, that one, and this one. Okay, so we're going to start with 1 pile first. We're going to take the other pile and put it to the side. And we're going to start with 1. And what we're looking for here is the shortest piece. Now, I happen to know that it's this one. So I'm just going to take this, put it in half. I'm going to find the center bottom here, and I just want to go just off to the side of that, and that's where I'm going to attach this. Again, this is a good place to be using a piece of string or your crochet hook, okay? And I'm just going to pull the loop through, just like you would with a tag. We're going to pull that loop through. We're going to put our tails through it. And then we're going to tighten it up. Okay, so here's my center, so I'm going to the right. So I'm going to start going this way. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put different types of ribbon through here as I go around, doing the exact same technique. Of just bringing it through in a loop and bringing my tails through, and then just tightening this down. Okay, and I'm just going to do this all the way as far up as I can, probably about 3 to 4 inches on each side. Okay, and then I'm going to come back. So let me get this first one done, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about doing the other side, and then we'll move on. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so once we finish this side, then we're going to come back and we're going to go on the other side, and we kind of want to make sure that we do it, you know, this is our centerpiece, you know, this is our center trim right here, and so we want to make sure that, you know, the next one we do is the correct one all the way across. And I can see here where my next one is, so I'm going to go ahead and fish this one through. Pull it up, tuck in my tails, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull this down. And I'm just going to pull a little bit at a time on each side and work this around. next one, which I think is this one. Make sure I get the right piece here. There we go. Now again, if you want to use more than, you know, lace on this, you could certainly add ribbons. Some thin ribbons would look adorable on there. All right, and then we've come to kind of the last one, which is this largest ruffled one. And this one here, I want to show you something a little different on this one. Nope, I got one more to do. What did I miss? Oh, I got it. Okay. So I'm just going to come in here, go through, and I'm going to grab this. Now, this lace is a little bit more difficult to do this with. So don't pull up any more than you absolutely need to. Put your ends through. And then when you pull this back, it's going to look like like you're not being able to get it tight enough. And what it is you have to pull the ruffle through separate from the base. Okay? So now I can decorate this if I want to. I can put some flowers on here, or, you know, some colored ribbons, whatever I want to do. So I'm going to do a little bit of decorating, and I'll be back to show you the finished piece. You can trim the bottoms if you want. I just like leaving them just the way they are. I mean, if there's one that's obviously way too long, then, you know, just trim those out of the bunch. That's all. But I like that kind of, you know, disorganized look. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of decorating, and then I'll be back to show you what this looks like when it's all finished. I'll be right back. All right, so I've added some little flowers here using some hot glue, and the last thing I have to do is just to put a top on this, and that's easy enough to do with just a piece of our cord. And you want about 8 to 10 inches of that. And just tie the two ends together. And then we're just going to slip this around. Come in, get around there. And I'm going to bring the knot through the loop, so that I'm basically wrapping the loops around the screw on either side. And then that's it. You have a little hanger to put it up, or of course you could just put a nail in the back and just hang it that way. It's entirely up to you, but there it is, my little project for the week. If you're new around here, thanks for stopping in. Check out the description box below. There's all kinds of links down there. Check out the community tab. That's going to tell you everything I got going on. And love to hear your comments on this one. If you have any questions or anything, leave it in the comment section. I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Until the next time, stay well, my friends. Bye-bye.